Hey guys, my name is Tom, and this is some Kill Confirmed on Interchange. Welcome back to part 5 of How I Met Melinders. I think these events take place around 2005, 2006. I was like a junior in college. And where I last left off, Catherine and I had broken up. And I had mentioned that we had an epic fight at the wake of my friend Dante, who had passed away due to a heart attack. He was 23. It was really out of the blue. And my friends at the time really hesitated to even tell me because Catherine and I had just broken up and things were pretty rocky. I took the breakup very hard. Little known fact, of course, most of you don't know me or weren't even there. But I've never actually broken up with a girlfriend. You'll see in these stories, the girl always does the breaking up with. That isn't to say that I was necessarily happy. In fact, in a lot of these stories, you'll see that I was pretty miserable in a lot of the situations. I've just in that in that area, I've never been really willing to pull the trigger. And sometimes it's come back to bite me in the ass. There were definitely times where I wish I had been the one to initiate the breakup. Maybe it's a matter of pride. I don't know. Pride definitely does play a role in behavior in breakups, and I totally advise you to ignore that sting. Just tuck your tail, lick your wounds, and push on. And in a month or so, you're going to really appreciate that you did, because every time that I've stood up and kind of had to have that last word, or I don't know, just stand up for myself in general, I've always regretted it. I can count on one hand the number of times where I've actually stood up to somebody that I thought was being an ass or that did me wrong, and appreciated the way that the events turned out. I in fact, not even 2 days ago, I was talking on the porch with Philip. We were having a cigarette, and we were talking about how to deal with people that you chalk up just to being an asshole, and we are kind of coming to the conclusion that you just have to let them be one and say fuck it and move on. And I think in all of these scenarios, I wish I had done that. But Dante dies, and my friend Eric tells me, and my mind was kind of blown, because I was taking a lot of classes. Catherine had just broken up, and but I go, he tells me that they're having a wake at our friend Jamie's house, and so I go. And Catherine's there, and I'm trying to ignore it, and just kind of, I don't know, I don't even know really why, what I'm doing there. I know why I'm there, of course, but it's the first time that I'd ever been in that situation. Hopefully, knocking on wood, that situation doesn't come up anytime soon. It still, to this day, is very surreal, because I just, seeing everyone there. My friend James was heartbroken. Dante was his best friend, and so seeing a guy like James, who's very happy-go-lucky, and he was just the life of, I'd say the party, but he was the life of the world. This guy was always happy, and he was just done for a while after Dante died. But Catherine, in some magical way, made it about her, and it drove me nuts. And, other than condescending people, selfish people really get under my skin. And I have this, the way that I deal with conflict, or kind of, I guess conflict in any way, is I feel I have a very long fuse. I'm a pretty patient guy. And so I'll take it and take it and take it and try and process it and analyze it. And a lot of times I overanalyze it, which isn't healthy. I'm working on, in situations of conflict, finding a healthy way to voice that I'm not happy with the situation, but to not give my initial what the hell response, and to not bury it down. But especially in a situation like a breakup where you are kind of biting your tongue and burying things down, and you're trying to figure out how to feel, solid again. Because the hardest part for a breakup for me is dealing with the fact that you're alone. You're used to having that person there, and I don't know, you've been in a situation where you can hear the quiet in a room when you've just ended a relationship, that is the worst time to find yourself in. And but Catherine had made this somehow about how she was so upset about Dante, and I mean, getting very like embarrassingly dramatic and weeping. And I remember everyone in the party was very uncomfortable with how she was behaving. And then she tried to turn I guess the topic kind of on how, I don't know, how our current status was going, and why I wasn't being more friendly to her and there for her. And I fucking lost it. I just like end up just screaming these obscenities at her. Just, it's very unlike me, and you can probably hear Blue scratching. But I lost my damn mind on her, and I remember just like roaring at her, and then my friend Eric got me out of there, and I went home, and I'm trying to apologize, and everyone's making me feel better. They understand, but at the same time, it's incredibly embarrassing, and I just have to get out of there. So I go home and I go to bed, and every time for me in those situations where you're lonely, going to bed is just, it's too much brain time. I think that is how I ended up being a night owl. It's just kind of avoiding having to really think about the things that are bothering me when I'm going to bed. And the pressure just mounted. I really handled this one poorly. And so, I made that mistake. And here is, I guess, my next tip is, in a breakup, if you're friends with that girl on Facebook, some call it tacky, but delete, your friendship or whatever, if it ends poorly, or at least, depending on your willpower, if you can avoid checking their status, let it slide, let it slide. But if you're going to find yourself checking their updates constantly, just remove that temptation entirely. Find whatever means you can to do it, because there's nothing worse than watching. This is one of the, downfalls to social networking, is you can now, thanks to the internet, watch almost in live time someone get over you. And if you're not over that person, it's a nightmare, to, I guess, be, I don't know, to be, there's no better way to say it. It feels horrible. And I made that mistake, and I've had friends make that mistake. And again, I can't stress enough that when it's over, it's over. And the sooner that you ask yourself, what went wrong, what you really wanted out of that situation, and what you'd want for yourself next time, and try and push on. Surround yourself with friends, and if you have mutual friends with that person, distance yourself from them a little bit. You can even explain, like, the situation. I feel in those situations it's best to be honest about, how you're dealing with it, and why you might not be coming around. And if they're your friends, they'll fucking understand. And if they don't, fuck them. You weren't real friends in the first place. And, as a person with great friends, if someone's not going to be loyal to you, they're not worth your time. Save it and push on and find people that are going to be there for you. And again, I have to repeat, avoid Facebook, because it really made that situation difficult. I ended up, due to the pressure, like shortly after Dante's funeral, we buried him, and I went to a drawing class, and just, my professor was talking to me, and I broke down, and I started crying in front of her. This guy, I think, like a pressure crack a little bit of homework was intense, and it just got to be too much. And so at this time, I seek self-help, and I my university provided psychiatry services, and I end up, going and taking this. I sign up, and I kind of just walked in and, to their office, and I'd said, like, I needed just somebody to talk to help me figure out that shit. And they hand me a form, and I begin to write down on a piece of paper everything that is wrong with my life at that current point in time. And it really blew my mind. But that, guys, is the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will have a new part for you guys next week. I hope you're having a great week, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you enjoyed the video.